Did you get it?
I don't know.
Okay. My ears are so itchy. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think there's something wrong with me.
Okay.
Are we live?
No.
Okay. You're going to knock this over.
I know,
that's
that's probably what I'm going to do.
Yeah. That's probably true.
Holy shit.
We're there. We're here.
Are we live yet?
We are, and you are extraordinarily itchy.
I am?
I think it's because this is like rubbing against me and it's like...
I'm itchy?
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine.
I mean, you're making
Feel
me
great
itchy.
in this fleece. Just kidding.
Well, I know. That's not a fleece.
Sorry.
That's a sweater.
It's definitely not a sleece.
It's not a sleece. Oh, look,
So
your mom's
sleazy.
the first one
Hi,
on.
Mom!
She's making me itchy.
I'm sorry. I'll just sit
Tell
like
her
this.
to stop.
Which,
Mrs.
if you're
Brie.
listening to the podcast, you have no idea how my stance is right now.
No, but
so
it's
go watch it
pretty-
on Instagram. Be sure to follow us.
Please.
Hi, welcome to 30-ish, everyone.
Hello.
This is Shay, and I'm Reverend Brie.
Yes, you are.
Hi, that's me.
It is you.
I'm a reverend.
You are a reverend.
Since the last time you saw me. Well, actually, I was already ordained.
Oh, it's shutting down. Even Instagram doesn't even want us, and it doesn't like us. Did your phone just die?
Yeah, it must have.
Okay, 1 minute.
Okay, we gotta...
This is actually pretty hilarious.
This is perfect.
This
That's my mom.
is so good. Okay, wait. Let's...
Wait. I wonder what the ending of that is.
I'm keeping all of this in.
If you don't know what's happening right now, we do Instagram Live of our intros before our podcast airs. So if you want to check those out,
I mean,
like I already told you,
they're
go to our
all
Instagram.
not like this. They're usually like pretty fluid. So.
Yeah, they are, except that my phone fucking just died.
It's fine.
Okay,
We might lose
switch
your
'em.
mom, so we better hurry up.
I know, my mom's gonna be like, oh, great, Brianna, this is a disgrace. Oh my God. Okay, here we go.
There.
All right, we're gonna basically
try
our live just shut off because my phone died, and so we're having some technical difficulties.
We're having some
Dildo-culties.
difficulties.
A dildo
It's like a
culty.
It's like a
That could be something.
stalactite, but like
I don't
saltier.
know what to do. I don't know how to work your fucking...
It's the same thing. What don't you hit this for like a live or whatever?
Well, you go add
do
to
you
your
do it, like-
story. How do you add to your story?
Oh,
Have you ever added to your story?
yes, sometimes.
In your whole life.
Shut up.
Hello!
Where did it go? Damn it! I do
Oh,
this
you
every
have to do this.
Do
have
it.
to
Do you hit
this.
the?
Oh, no. You
That's
do
my
this.
cat in the shower.
This and then this. There we go.
Add to your story.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're going live.
Okay, we're not even here. Where did we go?
Oh, you have to change it around. Okay. Take number 75. Don't knock all that over.
Oh my God. Oh, I went live before.
That's fine. It's because you were... Dude, we look like a hot mess, and we're not even drinking yet.
We haven't even drank anything yet.
No.
Oh my God.
This is like the second fucking round that we're doing this.
Okay, hi guys. Welcome back to
Jesus
30-ish
Christ,
podcast
it's the hot mess
on
of
Instagram
breath.
Live at least. If you've been listening on the podcast that whole time, it was a special treat. So make sure you listen next week to hear what the fuck just happened.
100%. Hopefully you were on that journey with us there, Caddy.
Yeah. My mom didn't come back. What are we gonna do?
She hates us. We're
Great.
unprofessional.
Great. Anyway, hello, Shay.
Hello again, Reverend Brie.
Reverend Brie, that's what we were talking about. So,
Yes.
oh my God.
What?
Maybe it's because I'm not supposed to say I'm a real reverend. They shut us down.
Like the hand of God just came through your phone and was
They're
like,
no! You were ordained online, you idiot! Just kidding. That's gotta be okay. That has gotta, I mean, everyone does that. And it's with the universallifechurch.org.
oh, well, that's pretty... Ooh, you know what?
very legit.
Speaking of universal, that doesn't make any sense, but it's fine. Yeah, it's kind of starting to separate there. What you might want to...
Oh, it's just my cream soda. Should we talk about our drink?
We should, so you can just kind of
That
drink
I
it
blessed.
and stir it. Drinking it. Yeah, dude, you're going to get my house haunted and like struck
it's
down by
fine.
lightning, and that's a whole
I'm
thing.
blessed. We're blessed. We're
I'm
good.
going to go get my amethyst stone over there and make sure that we're going to be okay.
We're gonna have our chakras aligned.
Oh, we gonna.
Anyways, let's talk about what we're drinking. Holy I don't even know where we are. What day is it?
Maybe that's also because we did some fun things this weekend.
Oh, we did a lot of fun things this weekend. My best friend came into town. Shay's new best friend.
My new best friend, Caddy.
And our other friend from Denver came into town.
Which I just met, and she's
It was before the things happened. It was before we were safe and responsible, but we also did a little mushrooms.
And it was delightful.
And it was the first time that most of us had done them, like, legitimately. And it was a trip.
It was, well, literally. It was, I think I felt like I was a little bit like in Pandora a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. We did it. We did it at night.
Did it.
And we were by the Poudre River, which is where, like, by where I live. And there's, like, a cool, like, path down the river.
Very, very
in
cool.
nature, in the forest. And it's, like, really close to the foothills, so you get a lot of stargazing opportunities. So we saw, like, falling stars that were real.
Right.
But
And also
the sky
satellites.
also just looked insane.
Like I'd just seen it for the first time.
And the river looked like fucking metallic.
Caddy, I think she described
blue.
it as like blue lava.
Yeah.
Which was pretty accurate. It's pretty accurate.
But then it was also like, it was a fun time. We had a great time.
It is. We learned that I need a bell next time.
Yeah, because
I would just run off into the darkness.
Yeah, Shay kept running off into the
just-
dark to find this. Well, she was walking towards the tree, the big, huge tree.
It
that
was
in the field, the track and field that we were near.
Would you stop? The track and field.
The track and field.
I do like that you call it that.
Yeah, I kept
silly.
really being afraid that we were gonna lose Shay.
No, that's the one thing I
But
did
we
like
never
about
did.
this whole thing, which I didn't. I didn't get kidnapped.
Held it together.
We did. I liked about this experience was this is the first time I've ever done it, and it was just very different than I thought it was going to be. Oh, good God, man! I need you to lock it up. You're ruining my Target desk.
Sorry.
It cost $59.
God damn it.
I guess I just didn't know what the experience was going to be, so I was a little freaked out what it was going to be, but it was just
great.
pleasant.
It was very pleasant.
But I felt what I was trying to say with all that. I felt like I was very in control the entire time, which I liked. So I knew. I was like, as long as I can hear them giggling behind me, I'm totally chill.
And I was like, and then as long as Brie was yelling, Shay!
Yeah, that's true.
Where are you?
I'm like, that's no hyena. That's Brianna.
It's just me.
Just Reverend Brie.
Just Reverend Brie.
Just Reverend Brie. Call him at home.
Yeah, and we ate them in chocolate, which was very delightful and not repulsive at all.
Seriously, though, like, that was
which
actually
is what
some
I've
pretty
heard.
amazing chocolate.
Yeah.
Take the
kudos
shrooms
to
out of it. Yeah.
the maker.
Right.
The maker who's
maker.
watching right now and
100%.
listening. One day he will. Or she.
Or she.
Who
Whatever.
knows?
So did we
It's
actually
legal.
talk about the drinks?
We didn't yet.
Well, I also have this really good
maybe
scar
they don't
on
want
my-
us to talk about them now that we just told us they want us to talk about it.
Whatever. It's
Okay,
fine.
so today we made. So I don't know if you guys have fucking seen these in the grocery store lately. Olipop sodas.
Who's Howdy Boy?
I don't know.
Well, they're coming to visit whenever this crap is over.
Oh, hello. I'm sorry. I don't know off the
It's
top
not
of my
me,
head.
So it's you have more friends than me, Brianna.
Howdy boy. I'll have to look at your page after. Yeah. I don't know your Instagram handle name. Anyways, Olipops are fucking delicious. They have
amazing.
like vintage cola, root beer, fucking strawberry. This strawberry vanilla is so good. Oh my God, Joey Baxter!
You
come
asshole.
visit anytime. He has different names sometimes, and he knows it.
Oh, okay. Jesus. Blame the victim.
He's from the Central Coast. Leave us alone.
Oh my God, you get so aggro about me.
Yeah, so they have all these kinds of sodas and they're delicious. And so I was like, we should just use that as a mixer this week. Because also they're fucking really good for you and your digestive health. They have like fucking burdock root, cassava fiber, calendula flower, slippery elm bark, Nepal cactus, like all sorts of incredible things for you. It's technically a sparkling tonic. It has prebiotics, fucking botanicals, and like I said, plant fibers. Yeah. And it's a soda, and it tastes delicious, and it's amazing, and it's good for you. So I was like, let's make a fucking alcoholic beverage with that.
But you put the cream in yours, and I did not.
Yeah, so Shay's just doing the strawberry vanilla soda with vodka.
The all vegan type.
And I made mine with a little cream. You have to mix it every once in a while, but it's still delicious.
Yeah. But it looks good. But I'm not a big cream soda fan
It's like I love cream sodas.
I don't like it.
So if you don't like cream sodas.
No, I might drink it if it was like in a cream Dr. Pepper, because Dr. Pepper is, I mean, that's just a different whole breed of soda nonetheless.
That's true. You think it's creamy? You would add cream?
No. There's an actual like cream Dr. Pepper that you can buy, like a cream soda Dr. Pepper. Did you not know this? Did I just almost blow your mind?
I love cream soda.
Well, you would love cream Dr. Pepper.
Holy shit. I gotta go.
Jesus. Okay.
All right. Well, anyways, that's our drink. This is, and what the fuck are we doing here?
Oh.
We're talking about our podcast. So, What the hell did you roll, Shay?
Oh, I rolled some nostalgia. And you're going to feel real nostalgic with this
Am
one.
I?
Oh, you're going to.
I can't.
You're going to scream to the microphone where it's going to get all red and shit, and I'm going to have to be like, oh my God, my
Brianna,
gosh.
you need to back up.
You got to stop doing that. But it's fine. Anyway.
Oh my God. I forgot you rolled nostalgia.
Oh, because it was so far ago.
It was so far gone.
Maybe I should research about the English language. That would be really helpful. Anyway, and what did you roll?
Oh, I rolled paranormal. And despite my knowing, I was at the place where I'm telling my story about.
Okay. I went on
English language.
I went in the journey with you, and I got there. It was a long ride, but it was good.
So I went to the place that I'm talking about, but I didn't know I was going to talk about it while I was at the place, and I didn't know the things about it while I was at the place, but now I know the things, and I'm about to tell you.
Cool.
Do you get it?
I get it. I'm on board, man.
Well, should we fucking stop this intro? It's like 78 minutes
That's because
long.
we've had to redo it twice.
That's true.
Yeah, it's fine.
Well,
but cheers to you.
It's time to go.
Happy hump day.
Thanks, Olipop, for our delicious drinks.
True that.
And vodka. Mm-hmm. And we'll see you on the podcast, motherfuckers.
Bye. Doesn't make any sense. It's fine. Okay.
Here we go. On?
Oh, we're on.
Testing testes.
100%.
Hi guys, it's Brie here. Reverend Brie.
And Shay. Dude, we're gonna get struck down. It doesn't even matter.
No, we're not.
I mean,
I'm a blessed woman.
Blessings.
All right, guys. So today, like I said, I rolled paranormal. Oh. So today I'm going to be talking about the not so known haunted Mission Inn in Riverside, California.
Okay. Give me a preference. Like, where is that? Because I'm not from California, and like every American is like, where is that in reference to LA?
So it's about 2.5 hours from LA, I would say. Okay. South. It's south. It's like kind of. It's like.
Because that would make sense. Yeah.
It's like 45 minutes to San Diego. I think an hour to San Diego, but it's more like a little bit more inland than like LA. Well, LA's fucking huge, but I'm probably not even saying this right. It's down south. It's kind of by like Newport Beach, Long Beach area, Ocean. It's Orange County, California. The OC. Okay. Oh, I could have just said that. It's the OC.
Okay. Bitch.
So, and Riverside is a pretty big city. Okay. Half of it's very like metropolitan, and the other half, which is where where my cousin actually lives. So this is where I was a reverend. I officiated my cousin's wedding, and it was in Riverside, California. Mm-hmm. And our family stayed at the Mission Inn. And but anyways, so the other side of Riverside is like literally orange orchards, lime orchards, like lemon trees everywhere. My cousin had like 3 pomegranate trees in her yard that I fucking literally picked pomegranates from.
And you would eat like the 3 ounces of fruit that they had?
It's
so good. Look, it's all over my
face. Bitch, I made a salad for 22 people with 2 of them.
Well, then I don't know how to do that correctly.
You don't.
I'll
show you the techniques. And also
you should.
My cousins, so they're my cousin's grandpa, who's not my grandpa because it's his mom who's not really. Anyway, my cousin's grandpa, who's like 90, gave me a trick on what he does when he opens a pomegranate is he just like slams it with his hand and it just comes apart. And I tried it and I was like, oh, that actually,
It
I can see how it works, but you have to get used to it. You flip it up on its butt and then you just like press down really hard and it kind of like peels off. It has segments, and how I do it is I like score where the segments would be, and then I open the pomegranate up that way.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
So do you just
like to you?
You just have to have like that insane strength in order to.
I guess you just have to go. Bah! Just get your karate.
Get your karate in there.
Shit out.
Okay.
Your black belt out and do it.
I only graduated with yellow.
So, anyways, Riverside's. I really thought it was a cool place. I feel like it gets a bad rap sometimes. I guess I just know that from being in California.
Okay.
Anyway, delete that. No, I'm just kidding. So I'm talking about the Mission Inn today. Okay. And like I said, my family and like pretty much my whole family that was there stayed at the Mission Inn, and I had no idea that it was haunted, and I'm really sad that I didn't. I mean, I was like, oh, this place. I literally was walking down the hallway. I was like, oh, this place is haunted, to my sister. She's like, shut up, man.
It's not haunted.
I was like, oh, I know it is. And apparently it fucking is. So, and it's this beautiful hotel, that takes up literally a city block in Riverside. Damn. And it's literally looks like a bunch of old, like I was like, is this an old mission that was, like all the missions in California? Like that Adobe architecture and all that.
Really, really pretty. Like
I literally thought it was.
That's cool.
But
okay.
Anyways, I'll tell you some background.
All about it.
So it's apparently one of the 3 most haunted places in Southern California. Behind the Queen Mary, which is the boat.
I have heard about that. I was almost like I've almost done research on that a couple times, but I've heard it's pretty pretty big.
That's a big haunting. Yeah. Haunted boat.
It's a big old haunting.
And then the Whaley House, which I've never heard of, so put that in my back pocket.
Well, that and like apparently like I guess so I listened to them, That's Why We Drink, and they talked about that house consistently until I think finally one of them M did it. M did because she's the paranormal side. And it must be like because they're from California or like they live in LA. They live. I think Christine doesn't live there anymore, but like they so maybe it's like a California thing that I just had no idea. So
yeah, I'd never heard of it, so we'll have to do one on it.
Yeah. Or go to it. What was that?
That was like a very
like a little.
That was like a heart burp.
Yeah.
It's weird. So, it's also second in one of the strangest buildings in California to the Winchester Mystery House, in the sense that because of all of its different architectural styles and like ways and different things they built within the Mission Inn, like it's pretty crazy, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that, but it's second to the Winchester Mystery House and like the strangest like building.
Okay.
And they say so they think that think of every type of and style of mission that you've ever seen and heard of, and then imagine them all combined into one sprawling multi-block hotel with one wing of the building designed in Renaissance style leading off to another building designed in like a Turkish style. It's like, it's crazy. Very horror movie vibes too. Like very eerie, like long ass hallways that are like the 4th floor is all the I'll tell you more about it, but all the rooms you get to outside, and it's just like, it's one of the coolest hotels I've ever been in my life. It's beautiful, but it's like so weird how it was like architectured.
Yeah, no, that's
a word?
I get what you're saying.
Architectured, designed.
I'll
just say designed.
Architecturally designed.
So not only is there Renaissance and like Turkish style within this building, but the other styles include Gothic, Moorish Revival, Mediterranean, Moroccan, Chinese, Turkish, Spanish, Oriental.
It's okay. I mean, we all get it. It's all good.
Italian, Renaissance, and even Hawaiian.
Wow, so it's like freaking Epcot.
It's like, it's crazy, but it all looks like a mission at the same time,
which is insane.
And then like the inside is like it's nuts.
Huh. Okay.
The building contains narrow passageways, exterior arcades, a medieval-style clock, a 5-story rotunda, which is like this giant spiral staircase like wraps around it, and you see all the way down to like the 5th floor from the... Only can see it from the 4th floor, though.
Okay.
Or
That's weird.
I think you can see it from... You can definitely see it from the other floors because it goes to all the other floors. But like standing from the top floor, you see all the way down. And it's just this huge, massive, round... It's crazy.
That's pretty cool.
There's flying buttresses, Mediterranean domes, a pedestrian sky bridge, stairways that lead to nowhere, and really short ceilings in certain areas. Okay. Which I found out, like when we were going into the hotel, we were like, I think it's only on the 4th floor, but like the ceiling is like I could touch it. And I was like, why is the ceiling so low? And some of the doors are really little and stuff. And I found out it was because the man that built it, Frank Miller, he had a height challenge sister, so he like built shorter.
Oh, so he was being nice, so she could feel like proportionate.
Yeah,
it's a nice brother.
Isn't that cute and very strange?
That is really...
It's only on one floor though.
I mean, he's just like, you can just go to this floor, and that's it. It's actually just a way to segregate her.
Which is where her room was, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
I think this is the same sister.
I mean...
Anywho.
Okay.
So several of the rooms can only be accessed from a rooftop courtyard that's filled with interesting water features, numerous planters that have like roses, begonias, and then there's also a huge herb garden up there. It's on the 4th floor. And then also on the 4th floor, you can walk around, which is what we did at night. We did a little 11 o'clock after the rehearsal dinner. Okay, nice. We, like, the bridesmaids and I and my, like, cousin, we all walked around the hotel.
Cute.
And me and a couple of my cousins ended up going up into the bell tower, which was fucking creepy as fuck. And there was this room that was, like...
boarded up.
This is where poison is stored, or like
okay.
And then there was it was fucking weird, and
did you take
we felt
pictures
real
of this?
creepy. No, I didn't have my fucking phone.
Damn it.
I know I feel dumb, but sorry,
but
guys,
you know,
can't
at
prove
the
it to
same
you.
time, it was you
I think
living
my
in the
sister
moment.
cousins did.
Yeah, you're living in the moment. Okay, but go on.
I was like, I'm not gonna take my phone.
I get it.
And in addition to the architectural styles and choices that they have made with the building, you also they're known for having their 2 pet parrots that fly around, or they don't fly around. They're like, in the entrance of the hotel is this giant fucking bird cage and has 2 macaw parrots in it. Okay. And in some of the bathrooms, like in my parents' room, their bathroom had like parrot tiles in the tub. Oh. And so it's like a theme. These parrots.
Okay. But they don't fly around.
I don't think so.
I feel like that'd be a liability.
Yeah, they should though. And then also a museum's worth of historic artifacts.
That's pretty cool.
Hotel.
Okay.
And a lot were collected by the original owner himself, Frank Miller. So, speak of the devil, let's talk a little bit about him.
Okay.
So first they started it. So, sorry. So the
perfect.
So the Miller family were migrants to California from Tomah, Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. And then in 1874, civil engineer C.C. Miller arrived in Riverside and began working on a water system, and with his family began a small boarding house in the center of the town. And then in 1880, his son, Frank Augustine Miller, bought the property and gradually
slipped into madness.
Sense. And then Frank, who's the guy who really started all the hotel mainly, bought the property and gradually improved and enlarged it.
Okay. I like it.
So there was a prominent architect that worked on it. His name was Arthur Benton. And it was financed by a railroad baron named Henry Huntington. It's like a freaking movie.
It sounds like the fucking arch nemesis on like, it's like Moose and Squirrel.
Henry Huntington.
Like, what was his name? Natasha and whatever. Yeah.
Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yeah,
right.
and they tie him on the train tracks.
Oh my god! Except I know it's
for whatever
quite
reason,
a story.
Yeah, except I see him more as like a tall Natasha, but with like, you know, not It doesn't matter. Okay, keep going. Just keep going.
And inspired by the growing popularity of California mission tourism and mission revival architecture, Miller opened the first wing of the current Mission Inn building in 1903, which shit's old. Shit's old as fuck.
Shit's old. Not as old as I mean, it's old for fucking America, guys.
It is.
Our German listeners, it's old for America.
Yeah, please.
We're little tiny babies.
It's not that old, I guess. You're right. That was just a couple moons ago.
And that was just because we have a lot of listeners in Germany. I don't know, not to be weird. Anyway.
You're like, why are you mentioning that?
Why are you mentioning
because
that?
Why wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Anyway, so the building grew in several different stages because it's fucking huge. It's way more than just that first wing now.
I guess I'm just picturing it like the small little building, but it's humongous.
It's huge, and it's like in a big square.
Yeah.
And in the middle, like it's really awesome.
So it's
There's like a big courtyard that you can go have breakfast in.
Yeah, so it's like an NBC Suites, but like on crack.
Yes. I mean,
maybe that's
a
where
lot more than an
but
embassy
maybe
suites. It's literally like a mission that has a spa.
I understand what you mean, but you get where I'm going with that.
I got you.
Because they have a courtyard and they're like, here's your complimentary drinks, but it's mostly just seltzer water. Doesn't matter. Go on.
There was nothing complimentary here.
I bet you there
except
wasn't.
for the free parrot looks.
You get one glare for $1.
It was actually $1 to look at them. Anyway, so by 1931, the Mission Inn comprised 4 wings in a labyrinth of gardens, towers, arches, and winding stairways, and it encompassed an entire city block.
Wow.
Which is
like a Vegas block or like a city block, like a regular city block?
Like a city block.
Okay, like a regular, not like a Vegas block.
Mm-hmm. So the interior was filled with Frank's arts and artifacts that he collected throughout his travels across the nation and around the world.
Uh-huh.
And he displayed them in his masterpiece hotel.
I'm sure he did to get all the ladies.
He had a wife. Actually,
I mean, that doesn't stop a lot of people.
That's
so.
true. That's true. And it was the 30s / that time doesn't matter.
I mean, it was the roaring 30s, so...
Oh, yes, they both reach for the gun. Thank God you don't have a roommate anymore.
I know.
That's probably why I'm so extra loud today.
I know, me too. But at the same, like, actually, too, that's, like, my favorite musical of all time. I don't like musicals, but Chicago, prime.
Oh, it's so good.
It is. But anyway, go on.
So sexy.
It is so sexy.
So one of the artifacts... or some of the artifacts include a bell collection of 800 bells, including the oldest bell in Christendom, which... Christendom? I don't know what that means. Christendom?
Like the Christian kingdom?
You know what? Maybe I should look up what that means.
No, I think we should.
What's a synonym for Christendom? Oh, wait, it's a proper noun. Fuck. Translation. Oh, wait, I have the internet. Hold on, let's see. I forgot that I was going to do this.
Look this up.
Christendom.
Mm-hmm.
It's a college. It's a worldwide body or a society of Christians. Wow, so it's the oldest Christian fucking bell. Christian
But
bell.
how did we get it?
Not Kristen Bell. No. Christian.
2 very different bells.
Yeah. And it dates back to 1247, and this is in the fucking hotel lobby, like in a glass case, this bell.
Damn.
Dope. You can look at that shit for free, too.
No, you can't.
That also costs $1.
Yeah.
And then if you tap on the glass, it's $5. So the value of some of the artifacts in his hotel that he displayed are estimated. Estimated well over $5 million.
Also,
like one artifact is worth that much.
And they're just sitting in a glass case?
They're just sitting in this beautiful, pristine hotel. That was actually like $130 a night.
That's not
when
bad.
we got them. My mom had a special deal with their hospital. But it was the same for my like cousins too. Isn't that dope?
That's like some Hilton
it's
prices.
Off season.
Seriously though.
Also, there's other rooms you can get that are like
stupid
thousands,
expensive.
but
yeah,
we'll talk about those later too.
Oh, okay.
So following his death in 1953, Franks, that is.
Yeah, I was going to say Frank Miller's.
Miller's family continued operating the inn for the next 2 decades until 1956, when it was sold to a San Francisco hotel man, Benjamin Swig.
Oh, he sounds nice.
He sounds like Rocky and Bullwinkle, right?
He totally does.
Benjamin Swig.
He does. He sounds like just a hard-pressed man looking for a... I don't know.
So then, eventually, the city ended up buying the property after some bankruptcy issues. Then in 1985, we won't go back in time to 1890.
No. Yeah.
Sorry. Then, in 1985, the city sold the hotel to a Wisconsin-based private development firm, which closed the inn in June 1985 to begin what would become a 7-year, $50 million renovation project. So...
okay. All right.
It's a fucking glorious hotel.
It must be.
It's pretty.
Puts The Shining in its place.
So...
Stanley, not The Shining. That was dumb.
So the restorations were nearly complete in December of 1988, but the hotel was once again plagued by bankruptcy
But of course.
And just was sitting there for 3 years without anyone to buy it. And then in late 1992, a local Riverside entrepreneur, Dwayne Roberts, #Dwayne Roberts, shout out.
Pause.
Just kidding.
That's hilarious. But pause. Were the $5 million artifacts sitting in that hotel at that point in time?
I don't know.
Because I'm like, bankruptcy. I'm sure the bankers were like, how about you trade in that bill over there?
Well, those probably were like the families, you think?
But still, like,
oh, that's true though.
But anyway, they weren't ready to give that bill up.
It was part of the I don't know.
They weren't ready to give that bill up.
So the mission oops, I skipped a part.
It's okay.
So Dwayne Roberts purchased the Mission Inn and successfully reopened the Landmark Hotel for business. It is a landmark.
It is a
sure.
landmark. Okay.
Like there's nothing like it in all of Riverside, and that's a pretty big town.
Pretty big.
You need your big pants for that town. I don't know. Isn't there a saying about wearing your pants in a big town?
I mean, wearing pants in town is just usually the thing to do.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's it. Okay, anyways.
Come on.
Today, a volunteer group called Friends of the Mission Inn and the Mission Inn Foundation continue to work in partnership with the Mission Inn so it doesn't go under again. No. Especially what's going on with Corona.
I mean, shit.
They're staying strong. There were some people there. There was a long wait at the brunch one day when we were there.
Did you have to like get served your own like little thing? They probably didn't have like what's it called? I call it like a corral, but it's like a buffet.
They didn't have a buffet. It was like they had like a restaurant thing, and then also the seating is outdoors anyways because it's in this like fucking gorgeous courtyard outside. So
yeah, it's probably beautiful weather anyway.
Yeah, it was
just gorgeous.
I forgot how good it feels to be in California. As soon as I got here, it was like,
yeah.
There's my skin. Gotta put some lotion on.
Hey.
Also, like, you can breathe better. Except
it was.
I would maybe
on fire.
I'd move to a fucking orange grove in fucking Riverside.
Yeah, I could see you doing that, girl.
There's a couple properties for sale.
They're like
5-acre properties in Riverside, Southern California for sale. Like what?
But how much?
Like $1 million?
Yeah, I mean there it is. So
no,
but
you can't buy that here for $1 million.
Acres? How many?
Like
acres?
with houses and orange groves on it?
Well, that's true. That's true. That's not bad. That's not bad.
It's not. I mean, I don't have $1 million lying around at all.
I'm just gonna.
I'm just saying, like,
save on that on Zillow.
If I get 7 of my friends, come on, let's go.
It's just like college all over again.
Literally, that's how we have to live.
We do.
#30ish. We just have to live with 7 of our friends on 25 acres.
That's true.
To be able to live.
That's fine.
Just kidding.
We can
That's
make
not
compounds.
true.
I feel like that's gonna be the way of the future is a fucking compound. I swear.
Dude, because we're gonna have to grow our own food. We're gonna have to fucking make our own clothes.
Right? I can
We're
bake the
gonna
bread.
have to grow our own weed. Already starting that.
I call town drunk.
Perfect. The commune drunk.
Yes, I do. I win. That's my
The compound drunk.
I'll bake the bread and I'll drink the booze.
Perfect. All right, back to the Mission Inn.
Supply the jokes. Anyway, go on.
So
Good luck editing this, Shay. Okay.
So Mission Inn is not only made famous by its beautiful architecture, but its famous fucking guests. Hashtag pop culture. Are you ready for this, y'all?
Dude, this was a fun little treat for you.
It was, and I didn't know any of this while I was there, and I'm pissed because...
But maybe it was good.
It probably was, because it would have been like...
Danielle, come play with me! And then she'd be like, I'm going to bed, Brianna.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's played host to many U.S. presidents and celebrities. Okay. So, Pat and Richard Nixon were married in one of the 2 wedding chapels. Aww. Ronald and Nancy Reagan honeymooned there.
Cute.
The presidential lounge that's there pays homage to 10 U.S. presidents who have visited the hotel. There's literally giant pictures of them, every single one that visited the hotel.
Cute.
Outside of this huge lounge area.
Loungy lounge.
The bar stands where President Theodore Roosevelt once slept during his visit in 1903. Guess he fell asleep at the bar.
I mean, story of my life.
Good job, Teddy. Other presidents who have visited include Benjamin Harrison, who I did my 4th grade report on.
Oh, what was his story?
What grade is that you do your report on presidents?
I feel like it's like 4th or 5th grade.
Yeah,
I feel like it was.
Benjamin
I feel like
Harrison.
mine was like 3rd or 4th.
I don't remember shit about him except his name and that he looked like a nice man, but I don't know if he really actually was.
He looked like a nice gentleman.
I probably read a bunch of lies about him,
Let's be real.
I mean, maybe I should go do a Benjamin Harrison recap for my life. That's a great idea.
You should do that.
Anyway.
That would actually be kind of funny.
William McKinley, Herbert Hoover, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, John F. Kennedy, as we mainly know him.
Sad. As we mainly know
Dick
him?
Nixon, as we know him. Did you know that I heard a fucking crazy conspiracy that people think he's frozen and that he's going to become the president someday?
No. You heard the conspiracy wrong. It's his son. Oh, I know all about the conspiracy girl.
Wait. Wait, anyway. His son?
So they have JFK Jr., I think, under Oprah's basement as well. And he is frozen, and he is he's actually the real president that is going to lead us into salvation. I'm not even saying this with sarcasm. Like, that's exactly what they believe. That's what they believe. Not JFK, because obviously he whatever.
But I thought...
Because did they ever... They might have. I don't even know.
His son that died in the plane crash?
Correct. Yes.
Oh, that's who?
Yeah, so they believe that JFK Jr. is the one that is they're going to unfreeze him after Trump's... Yeah. So Trump is just a catalyst, apparently, for the QAnon, whatever. And JFK Jr. is the real leader that they're going to bring forth and release into the wild, I guess. I don't know. And that's who they believe is going to lead us.
And that's what Lion King's about?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
You hear the sun rising and Rafiki's like doing like JFK.
Okay.
It's great. So
got it. That makes more sense now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
wow.
So that's been a big I heard that before, like it became like part, which was, I was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And then when it became mainline bullshit, I was like, that CNN was reporting on, I was like, oh my God, like we've all gone insane. This is what's happening? Like, how has it gotten to the mainstream media? Anyway, but yeah, so it's JFK Jr. He's in kryptonite right now. He's just on ice. They're going to defrost him later. And he is going to be the one that leads us because these Democrats are fake Democrats. And he's the only real Democrat. I'm not kidding. They call him a real Democrat. All the other Democrats are fake Democrats. I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? I know somebody that completely believes this and regurgitates it to me. And I'm just like, we can't be friends anymore because holy shit. Yeah.
Oh.
She's like a family friend. She's not like our age or anything. She's older. But I'm just like, I don't know how I feel about this. And this is really freaky that you're telling me like it's truth. And I don't like that. So, yeah. Yay, America.
Okay, so Gerald Ford also stayed there and George W. Bush.
I'm going to call this episode QAnon Segue.
Numerous yeah, that was perfect. So... Numerous entertainers have also passed through these halls and doors. Wow, I'm feeling good from this Olipop fucking prebiotics.
It's because you're feeling regular but getting your drink on.
That's right.
It's a difference. It's good. It's good.
Clark Gable, Harry Houdini, Betty Davis. She was also married there in 1945. Cary Grant. I was like, did I already say that? No, I said Clark Gable.
Say also, yeah, this chair is perfect for you because you have not wavered from that mic.
No, I can fucking. It's perfect. It's perfect. It's great for my horrible slouch.
No, it's good.
The Osbournes have stayed here. Ethel and Drew Barrymore, who I don't know who's Ethel Barrymore.
I don't know. Is it Drew Barrymore's mom?
Maybe it's her mom. Governor Schwarzenegger. That's not his fucking accent.
I don't know why you said
James
in
Brolin.
a British accident, but that was good.
I was trying to do his Austrian.
Yeah, not close, but it was an accent.
Austrian.
Yeah, it was close
Austrian. James Brolin and the Queen herself, Barbara Streisand, have all stayed at the Mission Inn.
Damn, that is quite a laundry list there.
Don't tell me not to live. Just sit and putter. Okay, so
matchmaker, make me a match.
Find me a fun
catch.
That song doesn't remind me of, what is it, Yentl?
No, it reminds me of Mrs. Doubtfire. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, so good. Hashtag 30ish because we don't think of Barbara, we think of Mrs. Doubtfire when we hear that
Williams.
song. Oh, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Hashtag paranormal.
Don't.
I love you.
Bring that wickedness on me.
It's not wicked.
No, it's
he was a comedian.
But can you imagine?
He appreciates it. If anything.
What if I rolled over and he was like right there in my bed with me?
Oh my God. I just envisioned that and I got very scared for you. What if you like rolled over and your arm was as hairy as his?
Oh my God. I would exfoliate my face.
Hairy as his knuckles.
Jesus
Your
Christ.
face looks like Robin Williams' knuckles. That's from Knocked Up.
Fantastic. Anyway.
Hashtag pop culture. This is my pop culture section. How long am I talking? My God.
You're only actually 30 minutes in. Do you have a lot more?
No.
Okay.
We just have the hauntings.
We're solid. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Unfortunately, not the bulk of my fucking presentation today.
It was Ben Carson. That was supposed to be what you were supposed to be thinking
about. Oh, man. So... we're almost there, guys. Don't you worry. It was also the setting. This is my favorite fun fact of the night. Okay?
I got some good
Listen up.
Number one.
It was the setting for the Hollywood productions, including 1915's The Vampire. Cool.
Okay.
1938's Idiot's Delights. Sweet. And 1997's Man in the Iron Mask. What?
That is
Leo.
I think that was like Leo's... 97? What did you say, 98?
97.
So that was like his heyday, like when he was like on every fucking
yeah.
little girl's fucking bedroom wall. Titanic, Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
He was
Man in the Iron Mask. And the fact that he was so kind and
he was.
And the fact that twin was a fuck.
He was. But then he
get him down there.
And then he ended up being like an actual like the good twin because he was just
advocating for the
environment, and he's just a good dude.
Just
patiently waiting for his Oscar.
He's never had an Oscar?
No, he finally got it. It's like how
he never had an Oscar?
Well, no, Kate Winslet. I feel like he didn't get. It took so long. Like I think his first Oscar was The Revenant or whatever that was called.
Wow.
I think so. And like Kate Winslet was the same thing, where she like was this. I mean, I have a hardcore crush on Kate Winslet.
Oh, she's amazing.
And she's an amazing actress, and she didn't get, I think, an Oscar until well into her career, which I think she was robbed.
Oh, she's amazing.
Anyway,
all right.
Hashtag pop culture.
Man in the Iron Mask.
Yeah, go.
Just to reiterate that little fact for you, that was my favorite fact of the night.
That was a good one. That's a good find.
On to the hauntings of this crazy funhouse Mission Hotel.
Okay, so they filmed a lot of those big castle scenes within that. Mm-hmm. Okay, that is pretty fucking...
Which, after I found that out, I was like, blasted back to the Mission, and I was like, oh my God, no wonder some of these places, like,
look familiar.
Looked familiar, like
Right.
how like some of the stairways and stuff.
Well, I was going to say the staircase is what I remember. So I'm like, okay, I can actually see
and
that.
that's probably why I was like, why have I seen this staircase before when I saw it?
Yes. Okay.
It's because of that.
There you go.
So, reports of hauntings here include cold spots, apparitions that vanish when you get too close, touching, and even some shoving. Tonight's hottest new club is Ghost. Just kidding. Sorry. I just
Password's
riffed on
boo.
that.
I like it.
And the password is Leonardo DiCaprio, Man in the Iron Mask.
What's that thing where you have the midget and then Leonardo DiCaprio and you hit it with a stick?
And the ceilings are really low, and there's two parrots.
Thank you, Stefan and John Mulaney. You're the best.
Yes. Okay, so there's people have seen large blue lights floating in the air.
Nope.
They've reported being touched and pushed by unseen hands, equipment malfunctioning for no reasons.
Nope.
Apparitions have been seen walking the hallways, floating near the ceiling in the dining room,
No.
and the storage building behind the hotel.
No.
Some speculate that the Mission Inn is haunted by the Millers themselves, which
Yeah,
would
no
make
shit.
sense. That was their fucking glory.
Right? Can you imagine?
of
Like, you're like,
life.
you don't get to haunt with us. You can't haunt with us.
You can't. They're like, I'm fucking staying down
Yeah.
here. Do you see this $5 million fucking bell I put in this shit?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay right by it. Don't touch
That
it.
is my soul still. It's attached to it. So one of the haunted rooms is Frank Miller's room, which is located in the northeast corner of the fourth story. It's apparently locked and off limits to guests and visitors. But it's on the fourth floor in the northeast corner of the hotel. And it's actually one of the only rooms that wasn't restored during the closure of the inn from 85 to 92, and it hasn't been reopened. Like I said, which is like, why isn't that room available?
Right.
You know, maybe it was so haunted.
It was so haunted.
So
I don't like that.
it's possible. Well, I guess there are reports that it might be a banquet room. It might be a banquet room now at the end of what's called our Author's Row, which I'll talk a little bit more about that later.
Okay.
And a strong presence of and a strong presence of Mr. Miller permeates the room. People say.
Oh, it permeates.
One man says in late June of 2011, we stayed one night at the end of the fourth floor Author's Row in the northeast corner, room 405, which is supposedly proximate to the room that Frank Miller resided while living. We were awakened by repetitive walking on the roof in the wee hours of the night. Perhaps 40 cycles of walking were heard over a 2-hour period. And they weren't super freaked out, but they were like, we just feel bad if it was Frank himself because he might be trapped in his...
He probably is. Help him.
But that'd be fucking gross. Also, another haunted room is Frank's sister Alice's room.
Okay.
She reportedly, when she was alive, liked to sing while she worked, and she managed the hotel until her death in the 40s. So Frank and his sister were both there literally until they died.
Ugh.
So
Nope.
they probably are still hanging out.
Just chilling like villains.
So Alice Miller's, or they call it Aunt Alice. They call her Aunt Alice. Her room is on the fourth floor on the southeast corner. This is a 2-level room, and it's very active, apparently, according to guests that stay there. Reports of cold spots, touches, apparitions, and a strong presence of Alice has been said to be felt.
No, thank you. No.
One woman said, my husband and I unknowingly stayed overnight in what they call as Aunt Alice's room. She says, I can vividly remember the spiral staircase going up the bedroom when I felt this gush of cold air as I entered the room. I only slept a few hours that night because I was burning hot on my side of the bed while my husband was having chills the whole night. The next day, the head housekeeper told me I felt Aunt Alice's presence that night.
Gross.
One current employee of the
Alice,
Mission
get the
Inn
fuck out.
remembers an older gentleman was once given a room in one of the upper stories of the building, as there were no lower floor rooms available due to the 1939 remodeling. The next morning, when the gentleman was asked if his accommodations were adequate, he was reported to have said to this worker that all was fine and he even enjoyed the singing in the next room. He was then told that he was the only tenant on the floor, and the old man nearly passed out. Like, actually, sir, you're the only one up here. So
No,
he was like, meh.
Hard pass.
Fuck.
Go fuck yourself.
So the bridal suite is also which I'm pretty sure we peeked into the fucking windows of the bridal suite, and it's on the 4th floor, and you can only get to it from the
first
garden.
Of all,
we didn't peek
into the bridal suite.
I mean, we didn't peek.
What if something was going on in there?
Well, we didn't peek. Like, it was fine. I mean, yeah, you're right.
I mean, but that's amazing. I mean, that's not
It
amazing.
was a giant 2-story giant room. So we were just like, oh, what's up there? Anyways, we didn't go in it.
I enjoy the urban explorers.
We didn't see anything.
It's fine. I get it. Like, I'm just busting your...
We were drunk and high.
You're drunk and high. No, I like that you were exploring the place. It's pretty cool. Okay.
So, and it's the only way to get to it is on the top floor, which is where a bunch of the gardens are, and this like... Yeah, so we were just exploring around there, and they were like, "Oh, this is cool,
fucking cool." Yeah.
Anyway, also we're creeps.
No, that's fine. It's neither here nor there.
We didn't like peek in.
No, I get it. It's fine. I'm just busting your balls.
Don't call the hotel.
Hashtag sponsor us.
So there have been multiple reports of people being pushed or hurried along as they went down the spiral staircase in this room. In 1993, a couple on their honeymoon night checked out of the room just after midnight after reportedly being pushed onto the stairwell. Sweet. Yeah. She's like, fuck you guys, get the fuck out of here.
No shit.
Oh no, this battery's running low.
Oh, god damn, Brianna.
I have the plug though.
Are you close to being done?
We might need to pause. So there was also an enormous amount of activity in the area of the foyer during the years right after it opened reopened in 1992. Okay. And one of the hotel desk clerks at the reopening resigned after seeing a ghost in his area late one evening. So ghosts leading people to quit and shit.
Oh, yeah, they are. I knew they are.
And it seems
all about it.
It seems that almost all the hallways are haunted at the Mission Inn, which those hallways, I kept feeling, I was like, I feel like I'm at the Stanley, but even though it looks nothing like the Stanley, but it's probably because of that fucking feeling you get when you're walking in the hallways of just like, okay, something's watching me, someone's here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't like that. Yeah. Don't like that.
So there have been numerous sightings of vanishing ghosts along the hallways. And I already said this, so.
It's okay.
The covered hallway near Alice Miller's room is supposedly lots of activity happens there. The 2nd and the 4th floor hallways specifically parallel to the pool, and the service area hallway behind the Mission dining room. Super, like, people just get the heebie-jeebies, see some shit down there.
Damn.
So the Mission dining room, also known as the Spanish dining room, there's an apparition that's seen traveling near the ceiling from the entrance wall near the patio to the far back wall. And multiple people have seen that multiple times. And also in that rotunda, there's been occasional sightings, which it's eerie just looking down there.
I don't like
the rotunda.
I don't like
and
that.
on the Spanish patio, visitors have reported feeling cold spots and touchy-feely feelings, especially around the area of the Lincoln bust, especially since it had been ordered and designed by the late Alice Miller, who just happened to die the day it was completed.
Oh, of course she did. Of course she did.
That's why they think people feel a lot of shit over there, too.
Yeah.
And that, my friends, is the Mission Inn in Riverside.
That was a good one.
There's a lot of history, but...
No, but I liked it.
Just because it was it's a great, interesting hotel.
And you were there.
And I was there.
You were there,
Definitely got the
bitch.
heebie-jeebies while I was there.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I believe that.
And yeah, like I said, the only like tour I kind of went on was like me and my cousins and the bridesmaids went on like a little walk at like 11 p.m. one night. So, you know, our emotions were heightened probably, but because it was nighttime, but
still.
But it was, I mean,
it's pretty dope.
I mean, I didn't see any ghosts, but I mean, it was also just like a really fucking cool hotel to be at. So I'm glad we got to stay there, and I like didn't know anything about it.
It looks amazing.
Oh yeah, Man of the Iron Mask. Go watch it again.
It looks amazing.
Also, all the windows opened. Mm-hmm. When does that happen in a hotel? Like wide fucking open windows. We had our windows open every night with their like beautiful linen. Yeah. Curtains blowing in the breeze, or maybe it was the ghosts. I don't know.
Very 1990s love scene. Yes.
I like finished up writing my reverend speech in that hotel room.
I like it.
Shout out to Caitlin if she's listening.
Oh, she listening.
It was a pleasure. And I'm glad we stayed at the Mission Inn, which apparently her and her now husband like to go there and just like walk around. Like just randomly, just like to go there and walk around.
Well, it sounds like it's kind of fucking cool just to walk around and
yeah, it's like a great, like you always find new fucking staircases, I'm sure, and other weird gardens and whatever else. So.
Weird gardens. All right.
The weird gardens.
The weird bone gardens.
The bone garden. The bone gardens. I mean, the bone gardens.
Yeah, it's her signal
the
for
ghost gardens.
The Peck-a-Luckies.
Well, I'm ready to get nostalgic, bitch.
Oh, it's like hyper nostalgic.
Take me back.
Here we go.
Listen up. Here we go.
Here we go. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Brie, what was your favorite childhood show?
I mean, how old are we? How old am I supposed to be? Because even Stevens?
That could be, no. Okay, so like, before that. Before like
cartoon?
Disney Channel. No. Like before, like, I'm just trying to see what you would.
Family Matters?
Oh, that's a good guess, but it's not.
Boy Meets World.
No. Educational show.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
A little younger.
Mr. Rogers?
That's correct. Only after like 45 tries.
Okay,
I wasn't asking the right question.
That was a very broad
it was very
question.
Broad. You could have said Sesame Street. So
my first OG favorite show was definitely Mr. Rogers. He was my friend.
He was your friend.
And
he was your neighbor.
I think I like Van Shoe so much because of him.
He was your neighbor, and he was cute, and he was just authentic, and he would talk to you, and he was so nice.
He had puppet friends.
He did. Now, I guess for me, I didn't. So, like, what was your favorite part of the show?
I liked when the little puppets.
See, I
liked the little Charlie part, but I liked when he went to different places. Actually, I think
I liked it when it was one-on-one with Mr. Rogers. I actually didn't like it when he would go to Make Believe Land. Mm-hmm. I hated when even that was the main chunk of the show because that's how he would relate to kids, right? But I actually hated that part. I wanted just to be talking. I wanted him to be talking to me.
Yeah,
and I liked him when he would like. Just do shit in his house, or he would go
when
to
they
like
go places and like do
places and like he would like go on like a fucking school bus. Like so, I did a lot of research. I watched at least 5 episodes of Mr. Rogers, and I was just like, damn, this is nostalgic. And there was times that I was sitting in bed, a little boozed, and like she would be talking to me, and I was like, yeah, thanks, Mr. Rogers, you're right. Like. I'm glad that you like me for being me, and I like you for being you. I need to hear that. Thank you, Mr. Rogers. I'm like drinking my seltzer, but it's whatever. Yeah. So I watched that, and then I watched. Let's see. Did you watch the movie with him with the biopic? Tom Hanks. It was.
No, I didn't watch that. I just watched the documentary.
It was really good, and so I watched the documentary, which I got a lot of my information from that. So, and it was really well done. If you haven't seen it, it was.
Oh my god!
It was called Won't You Be My Neighbor?
Oh,
so fucking good. Makes
I cried like a fucking child.
Yeah,
the whole time.
100%.
I didn't say the Tom Hanks one though.
No, the Tom Hanks was good, but he really was a side character, and it was mostly about But I think it was kind of about like how Mr. Rogers kind of influenced people's lives, and it was pretty spot on though. Like, because I watched the documentary first, and then I watched the movie, and they kind of. It was a great kind of.
It intertwined.
Yeah, 100%.
Intertwined.
So yeah. Intertwined.
I'm very intertwined.
I'm so intertwined right now. So yeah. But I watched a good chunk of, like, 70s episodes of Mr. Rogers, and I'm just like.
So he was like doing episodes in the 90s still, right?
So he was
'Cause
doing
that's when I watched him,
episodes
obviously.
until 2001. Yeah, but I'll get to that. So
He was a reverend too. What's up, Mr. Rogers?
And that's why you guys are one and the same. You guys are one and the same, and you guys love your.
He's blessed me.
You guys loved your PBS, so this was for you.
I love
this
PBS.
is for you. This is for you.
I need to put my bunny ears back up because I need to get my
too.
PBS
You gotta
back.
get your PBS back.
My Create TV, Rocky Mountain PBS, motherfucker.
Do you not get PBS off like your Roku? Can you not get like an app?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I do it.
But it's not the same. Would you get that? Get that.
Shay, when you don't have to adjust to the right
frequency,
picture.
when you're like, I still get that squiggly line. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that.
Yeah.
All right. So Mr.
It's
Rogers.
not the same.
Mr. Rogers, here we go. So
Won't you be my neighbor?
McFeely Rogers was born.
McFeely is his middle name.
McFeely. He's a bad motherfucker. He was born on March 20th of 1928 in Pennsylvania. He earned a bachelor's degree in music from Rollins College in 1951.
Dope.
He spent most of his childhood alone. Very sad.
Alone?
Playing with puppets, which like, and you saw in the documentary, he was a very sickly child.
Oh yeah.
So he had like every apparent like disease known to man. It's scarlet fever. He had all those things, and so
I had scarlet fever once.
Did you? I've never had that.
I did in like 4th grade, 3rd grade.
What's that like?
I had like fucking hives all over my body. I had like 107 fever that I had to go to the ER.
107? You would have died.
Well, then maybe it was not 107. I had to go to the hospital.
You wouldn't be sitting here. But you were.
It was 104.
It was like
5,
104. Yeah.
Because I had to go to the hospital.
I think when I had corona, which I know I had corona, it was like 102. Like I was getting that close where I probably should have gone to the ER because I'm like, I think my brain's cooking a little bit. But I'm like, it's fine. So you probably like had 104. Like you almost had to get hospitalized.
I did have to go to the hospital.
But like, did you have to be put in the hospital? Like got admitted?
I mean, I was in a bed. In the hospital for like a day.
They didn't put me in a chair. So you were admitted.
Yeah.
Okay, so you weren't just in the ER.
I guess.
You don't remember. How old were you?
I was like in 4th grade.
Okay.
I remember being in the hospital. I just don't remember the deets.
Okay.
You know, my mom was probably like, I know where she goes.
I know where she goes.
She's
They're like, you need to sit back.
Yeah.
She's like, give my daughter the shot. Her terms
Oh my
of
god.
endearment. Oh my
Anyways, I didn't die, and it probably wasn't a very crazy variation of it, but I had it. Scarlet fever.
Oh, well, I'm glad you're with us today.
Thanks, Shay. This is really about me
As
now.
Mr. Rogers, just like, I'm really happy that you're here. And
are you channeling him right now?
a little bit. Like, I'm really happy
This is
that you're
even
here
more
with me.
paranormal than I thought.
Right? And so, yeah, that's what he was just really fucking known for. So, anyway. So he was that. So he had this active imagination, as you saw in the documentary. But people that don't know, like, he had this crazy what?
Speaking of fevers, and active imagination.
She's doing a timeout signal,
Time
you guys.
out.
Yeah.
I just learned something from a man named Dr. Joe Dispenza, who's all into like fucking.
Oh, I know, girl.
You know about him? Oh, you know about him?
I
Gaia?
know about. I've edited his shit.
And I'm reading his book, and he talks about when he was little how like he would love having like getting sick when he was little, because when he had fevers, like he would literally have outer body experiences and shit. And when you
see beyond the veil,
yeah, exactly. And I was like, oh my god, I would have a weird, crazy shit happen to me when I had fevers when I was little too. And I was just like, I'm insane.
But people would like
dreams were like literally, I was like living in a dream.
But they say like, oh, it's just hallucinations, and you're like, I don't think it's hallucinations. It feels too real.
Shit's crazy.
So, yeah.
But anyways, speaking of
100%.
fevers,
So that's
I
probably
got a
why.
fever.
It got a fever.
Back to Mr. Rogers.
Cowbell.
God, this
Okay.
is going to be a long one. We're going to keep these shorter.
It's going to be great, you guys. It'll be just perfect for your commute. Okay.
It's been a while.
So it has been a while. So, yeah. Which, I mean, when I was first researching this, I was like, I just, like, when I see, like, him just playing with his puppets, I just see, like, a smaller version of, like, an old man. Right? Just like
in his sweater and tie.
Like, Mom, thank you for this soup. It's really good soup.
Was that his famous line?
It's just 100%. This was his favorite line. His famous line, not his favorite line. So he also began to play the piano when he was just 5 years old. For kind of like a
badass,
really sad
motherfucker
reason, though. So he used to get bullied, and he stated he would cry through his fingers, meaning he would cry through his piano.
Well,
yeah, and
I'm glad he took it out on that.
Right.
You know?
So in some of the interviews,
poured that emotion into his
instead
music.
Of 100%. So like he in the doc, he talks about how like he grew up, and this is the reason why he went into the industry that he did was because he was told, like, you know, you don't show emotion, you know, and if you do show emotion, like, you're a bad little boy, and you need to suck it up.
You're a pussy.
You need to act like a fucking adult, like, you know, but he said it like in Mr. Rogers' way. Mm-hmm. So
he didn't say, they told me that I was a big pussy if I...
He did not say that. So he
didn't?
Yeah, so he would cry. So yeah, so he realized like he could hit a piano, and it would just be like a way to at least have that cathartic release. So since he couldn't verbalize it, he could at least like play it grumpily, or he could play a sad song, or he could do something like that, and he would at least get his...
It is a fucking
Right.
release.
It's absolutely cathartic. We were talking about like horse therapy. It's a different kind of therapy, right? Like it's just different. This is my piano. So yeah, and then he would
show you my piano.
I'll show you my piano. My wet willy. That's gross. Okay, so
excuse me, you have a wet willy?
I just do it to myself.
It's a water willy. A wet willy is
That's
when you
totally
stick
different.
your wet finger in your ear.
I mean, a wet something in your orifice. Okay, so
or
it's
a wet wiener. Okay, enough about dicks. Let's get back to Mr. Rogers.
Yes. And then he would be so proud. I'm sure he's not spitting over in his grave right now. So he would cry through his fingers.
He was also a comedian. He's fine.
He was, but he would get offended a little bit when they would make fun of him. But we'll get to that.
He's free now.
He is free.
He knows that we're fine. He told me.
He told me. I'm a reverend. I know these things. Okay,
we're reverends. We know.
We go down and we have the coffee and we got the bagels and we have the whole thing.
We get the schmear. We get the fucking croissants. We get the juice. We drink the Kool-Aid. All right, let's go.
That's cool. Okay. Have fun, Shay, editing this. Okay, so he would.
Well, see you later.
So I gotta go. Bye. So he would cry through his fingers, and then he would make up songs on his piano. So he was overweight and was called Fat Freddy. Which I'm sorry.
I wish you guys saw Shay's face when she looked at me when she said Fat Freddy, because it was like the cutest little baby face.
I was just really upset for him.
But then it was also a smirk with a little evil
eyes.
eyes.
I'm just like, Fat Freddy is pretty good. But I'm just like, oh, because like, so, and you saw in the documentary as well, like, they show like a picture of him when he was quote unquote Fat Freddy, and he's just like this cute, chubby Mr. Rogers, and he's so precious in his sailor suit.
I have a Brie mix.
Go for
Whoa,
it.
Fat Freddy, bam a lamb. Whoa, Fat Freddy, bam a lamb. And I said, I don't know why, bam a lamb. What? Make believe land.
Dude, I don't know what's in these, but we're just like fucking on it today.
Ollipops, guys.
Damn.
Literally.
Next time.
Next time? Maybe 2 shots of vodka.
Whiskey Coke.
Oh, the vintage cola.
Yes.
Or the root beer.
That, too. I would drink that.
What I really want to try is the orange. They have an orange soda, and they have a lemon something soda, but you have to get the variety pack online to get that, but working on that's next.
That'll be like, #sponsors, give it to us. All right. Cool. Okay, so 25 minutes later. So, which actually it's not that bad. It's only 15. Okay, so, so he would later in life talk about how he would really spill out his emotions through music, where he couldn't with words sometimes, like I said. He began his television career at NBC in New York. I'm jumping way forward. He was originally supposed to get ordained, but after watching some TV programs, he was convinced it was just it could be used as like a great tool.
Hell yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and
we have that in common, Mister.
Being ordained or thinking that TV can be used as a great tool.
Oh, I thought he meant being a reverend could be used as a great tool.
No. He was supposed to get ordained, but then he was watching TV and he's like, that could be a fucking great tool for children.
Okay.
But was a hilarious miscommunication. He would watch TV that was for kids and he like fucking hated it. Feeling it was,
as he should.
Right. So feeling it wasn't like doing anything but just like grooming a child to be like a mass consumer. Mm-hmm. So in that documentary he talks about, I'm sorry I keep referencing that, but it was really fucking good. Go watch it. Mm-hmm. He talks about how like, oh yeah, no, kids are just gonna be like these fucking consumers. And he totally said fucking. And
1,000 after he said pussy.
After he said vagina. Yeah, so which honestly, he had 2 sons. Can you imagine having sex with Mr. Rogers? What that experience was like?
Have. It was probably kind of creepy and like very smiley
just
and
like,
quiet.
How are you feeling, Barbara?
Oh my God. Can't say I ever thought of that till just now.
Thank you. Burned into your skull as you close your little eyes at night. No. Be like, Chris, have you ever thought about having sex with Mr. Rogers?
I'm sorry.
He's like, did you get into my plants? I don't understand what's happening. Anyway.
Did you eat more of that chocolate?
God damn.
From the trash can.
Did you get it? Did you just lick the tin foil?
Oh my God, speaking, time out again.
Okay.
Chris threw away the bag that the chocolate was in. And I was like, I think I want to eat more chocolate. And I was like joking because I knew it was gone. And he was like, oh, I threw away that bag. Did you want it? And I was like, was there anything in? There was like nothing in it.
Did you want me to lick it?
No, but he was just like concerned because apparently there was a little bit left, and he thought I was really wanting to eat it.
Oh, got
it. wasn't that funny. Just delete.
No,
that,
I know
obviously.
It's fine. Just like I'm going to delete. Like I'm probably going to name this documentary, this podcast, Timeout, which is perfect. Because that's all it's been. Which I love it. It's so much fun. Okay, so
moving on.
Yes. Where were we? So he was thinking that they were going to be mass consumers. Yeah, you guys are one and the same. And what else? He also hated like he would like watch it and it was like people like just being slapstick and all this kind of shit and not giving. He would just felt like kids weren't getting enough credit to who they really are and what they could really understand. And they were just like, he was just like,
they're just filling your minds with nonsense and not like learning or like thinking about other things.
Right. They're not teaching them how to problem solve or just like he really just saw TV as like, oh my God, this could be a massive teaching tool. And like, look what it's being used for. Clowns slapping like people in the face with pies. Like that's fucking stupid when you can actually like relate to a child. And it probably like roots down. And there was a great quote from one of his colleagues or somebody in the documentary said like, if there wasn't a Fat Freddy, there might have never been a Mr. Rogers, just because he had like this determination in him to like, he didn't want any kid to ever feel the way that he felt, which was admirable. Yeah, 100%.
Feel that.
So,
that's why I'm such a pushover and never want people to feel that way. Just
you're Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers literally was my favorite person.
He
was a child.
Yeah, I remember.
Besides Jim Carrey,
I remember
he was the first one.
Yeah, I remember coming home. Well, so my grandpa used to pick me up, and I lived in like when I was living in like Richardson, Texas, and that was in Dallas, Texas, a little suburb. And he would go get me my little McDonald's, and I'd have my little chicken nugget, like Happy Meal, and he'd sit me on his little tray in his like little side room. And then I would like watch on this shitty little tiny white TV that had like you could like click like the 12 buttons for the whatever
the channels.
And you could even like move like the different, like you could make it black and white, or you could make it like completely green
with a reel.
Yeah, you could make it like green. It was crazy. And I would watch Mr. Rogers, and he would just be my friend. And it was amazing.
Oh, that's special. He is and that's like who he is for everyone. It was never like, never. No, it was like, I was so happy watching him.
Yeah. You just felt like he was talking to you. So Yeah, so in 1954, he began became a 7-year run of writing, producing, and serving as a puppeteer, and he did all the voices for the Children's Corner, which had a lot it had a lot of the land of make-believe characters. So the ones that you saw later on in Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, their foundation was here in the Children's Corner. So he wanted to move on from the Children's Corner, though, after I think so many years, just because he just felt like it was a little too slapstickish. It wasn't really what he wanted to do with that tool. He just felt like it was just in this small little medium, and he was like, I just need to step back and I'm going to go get ordained. And he did that. So he earned in 1962 a degree from the Pittsburgh Theology Seminary, and was ordained by the United Presbyterian Church in the United States.
That's where I was ordained.
Oh, was it?
No, it was the Universal Life Church.
The University of Phoenix online.
UniversalLifeChurch.org via monastery.org.
You need to stop yelling. We have company. So, which asked him to continue. So they asked him to continue his television work because they really believe that when he his way of preaching was through this lens of the camera and 2 kids and everything else. That was his way of really, even though he wasn't directly talking about God or Jesus, he was practicing a sermon.
Which he was.
He was
doing the real shit.
He was doing the real Lord's work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He was
exposing
he
people
was the
to
authentic,
the things.
Amazing Christian. He really was. So in 1963, he makes his on-camera debut as host of a series of 15-minute episodes for children produced in Toronto. The program is called Mr. Rogers. That goes on for a couple of years, and in 1964, he returns to Pittsburgh and turns his 15-minute segment into a half-hour Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Yes.
Yes. So in 1968, jumps 4 more years, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood debuts on PBS and wins. And that because 1968 is when PBS was founded by not Richard Nixon, Lyndon B. Johnson. But it's only because Richard Nixon comes up into play a year later.
But it was a president.
But yeah, it was a president. So Lyndon B. Johnson was the one that created PBS, and that's
good job, Lindy.
Right? He was an amazing Republican. I'll give him that. And
good job, Lindy.
Lady Bird Johnson was the shit too. So
fucking Lady Bird. Mm-hmm. Hey, that's my cousins who's got married. That's their dog's name.
That's because Lady Bird was an amazing lady. She did a lot of shit for Texas State Parks too. So,
well, goddamn! Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Sorry, I'm a little Texas girl.
The only state that matters, right?
True. We got that weird Texas pride, dude. Even when I'm not, if I haven't been there for 12 years, I'm like, yeah, Texas. Woo! Yeah. Stupid. It's so stupid.
Heritage. Shay, it's your heritage.
It is.
So I just said share.
It's so fucking weird.
And hopefully you could figure it out.
I like that. It's heritage.
Shay, it's your heritage.
It's my heritage. I like it. Okay, so
this my heritage.
It's like touche, but heritage. I like it.
Yeah.
That's sure. That's exactly what it's like. So yeah, so it debuts on PBS and wins the first of its several Emmy awards. It focused on
damn straight.
That's right. It focused on child's developing psyche and feelings and sense of moral and ethical reasoning.
Literally the only show that did that until Sesame Street came along.
Well.
Which was also fucking PBS. Good job, PBS.
I'll put a pin in that. Yeah, but it is PBS. So in 1969, Rogers testified before the U.S. Senate Subcommittee on Communications. U.S. President Lyndon B. Johnson had proposed a $20 million bill for the creation of PBS before he left office. But his successor, fucking Dick Nixon, wanted to cut the funding to $10 million. Pretty much his speech was the thing that gained. So Rogers' speech was the thing that kind of granted the funding.
Good.
Because so part of his testimony, he recites the lyrics to "What do you do with the mad that you feel?" And apparently, it brought that judge to.
I remember that part of the fucking documentary.
Yeah, so it brought him to tears. I know, you got the chills. I saw you rubbing your arm. He's like, well, I guess you just secured your funding. And he did it. He didn't even sing it. He just recited it. And he's like, it's just so important for kids to understand that. And that's what I'm doing with this. So it has to happen. And they're like, here you go. What do you need?
Yeah, and like,
do you need 1,000 puppies as well? Because you can have those. Please do what you gotta do for the kids.
I know. He's
so,
the
and
best.
you watch him. You just like look at his eyes, and he's just so fucking. I don't know what it is, but it's very moving.
He is it's 1,000%
so
genuine.
Authentic. He's an authentic human being, and he
was an earth angel
and breathed it. I mean, he really believed every single word he said. He believed in his work through and through,
and his work,
yeah, it made a difference. I still remember it. I remember like the lunches that I ate, and I watched him, and I would just like. He was like my only friend in the world. And
he's like so many he's touched so many lives. Mm-hmm. He's like, yeah. And he's always about unity and love and like.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
But he was genuine about it. He wasn't,
Yeah.
Anyway.
So he
was,
so he gained the funding for PBS, and he pretty much saved PBS. I mean, he's the reason why PBS is still here. If he hadn't got that funding, like, it probably would have just disappeared into oblivion. So there you go, Brie. Like,
thank you, mister.
He was a reverend. He fucking saved PBS. Your two finest things.
And he was literally an angel.
He was an angel
among us.
Yeah. So again, he tackled ideas that weren't being covered in children's shows, believing children needed to be approached about their feelings and made sure that they were being heard. Something, again, that was so different than, like, what Sesame Street was doing. So Sesame Street was doing those things, like, they were, like, getting you ready for preschool, right? So they were teaching you your ABCs. They were teaching you, like, your numbers and all that kind of
stuff.
Not fucking your numbers, but, like, you know, like, you're
teaching you to eat cookies really fast.
Right, 100%. Like, friendships and, like, making sure, like, hey, you know, sometimes when you don't win the race, it's okay. I'm only saying that because then I watched it was like a crossover episode with Mr. Rogers and Big Bird, and it was kind of adorable. But Mr. Rogers was so different in that category that he wasn't like, yeah, like he would teach you like some number games. Like he was like in one of the episodes that I watched, I was like, oh, that's right. So, but he was teaching you things like, how do you feel today? And he would pause like you were answering him. Like not like in Sesame Street, they didn't do that. Like they just did it. And actually, I don't think I wrote this down, but I remember like kind of reading it somewhere that Blue's Clues is based.
I was gonna say
of that. So Blue's Clues is based off of kind of Mr. Rogers, where they wait for you to answer and they wait for you and they talk directly to the camera like they're talking to the kid. So
and that's a really, especially when you're a fucking kid, you feel like you're a part of it. You feel like you're being heard, right? Especially if you're a kid that maybe doesn't necessarily get heard in their house, right? Or like at least you have
that 30 minutes that all the focus is on you. So he thought that was just really genuinely important. So
and he was right. It is
right
because
so that was genuinely the difference between him and Sesame Street, where he was doing something so different than Sesame Street. So
yeah, and he was like, he wasn't he was talking about your feelings and like being.
He's talking about like the psyche of a child and just like how that feels like if you're not heard and like, you don't need to like, okay, well come on, kid, like you just come along with me and you're just you're gonna feel what I tell you to feel and it's gonna be fine.
And encouraging.
And you better not talk out. You don't ask those kind of questions. Don't ask that question. And he was not. He's like, no, ask all these questions, and he would be so impressed. And it was almost like exciting when he would like get like he was like, oh no, he was like saying like, I talked to this kid and he was like talking about like how his doggy's ear fell off in the washer or dryer or whatever he said in the documentary. And he was like, these kids would like then ask like direct questions, and like grown-ups don't give those kids that kind of time.
Oh, you're so silly.
Right. So like he would give the kids that kind of time, and that's what made him different. And that's what made him special. And that's what I remember about him.
Yeah.
So he
affected us all.
He did. So he continued filming until like 1975 and leaves the neighborhood to pursue other ventures. One of which was called Old Friends, New Friends. And he was like, he wanted to focus on like, so he thought like, okay, I've tackled all the child development. Like they have all those tapes. So he like, it was like a big thing. So like for him to like have, he did like, I think the last episode that he did, it was like this giant wall of videotapes. He's like, no, now we're going to air them. And so like everybody can watch them from start to finish. So he felt like he had a big enough library that it was like that was what he was done with child development, like in the sense like that's all I could give, like that's I feel like that's
what I got.
That's all that's left, right? So like there's nothing else left. So I want to focus on bigger, like just older audiences. And so he left and he did Old Friends, New Friends. It was not horrible, but it wasn't like as successful as it was for toward his younger, like obviously like that he didn't have as much of an impact as he did toward his younger audience, obviously. Now I looked up a couple of these episodes and they're pretty hilarious because he's still talking to them
like their children.
Yeah,
I can see that.
And I get it, and and it's fine, but it's just so fascinating.
Like,
but
I don't want to watch that.
Right, but his whole thing was just like what makes a person be either so far gone that they're not approachable or relatable, and what makes a person like then like that's in the same situation that they are. So it was kind of tackling that, but again it just didn't get the kind of ratings that it did for like little kids. So in 1979, after an almost 5-year hiatus, Rogers returned to producing Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and then he would tackle things like, and also I didn't even touch on this. So the first like week of like when or the first kind of couple of years, he tackled topics like assassination, and this was like in the late 60s. Assassination. He tackled nuclear war. He talked about how like just because that was in the height of the Vietnam War. He talked about segregation. So he was like and there was one famous scene he put like what was the mailman's?
Oh yeah.
Was it? Yeah, and he put his feet in the water with
and
him,
washed them.
and then he just washed them, and he was just like, yeah, whatever, because he just thought it was so fucking ridiculous that it was a thing, that this was, you know, even an issue. So he would teach kids about kind of that, but without even teaching them outrightly. But it was just like, yeah, it was like he normalized it. Like it was like, what's the big deal? Who cares? Who fucking cares? In Mr. Rogers' words. But then later on,
always,
100%. So, so he would tackle things like this next kind of go around. He would tackle things like divorce and death and sibling rivalry and like just all those kind of tough like subjects, like moving to a new school and not knowing anybody. So he would do like these big kind of.
It's like, who even does that even now?
Nobody does that. So he would tackle all these really tough subjects, or like. There was a great moment in the documentary too. Again, I hate that I keep referencing it, but I don't, because it was a really, again, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's just very powerful. He talks about how like, oh, okay, so like Daniel the tiger is gonna come and he's gonna sing a song about how he just feels insecure and like, would anybody really care if I'm here? And you know, nobody's like me, and am I too weird or whatever? And he sings a song about this, and then. What was the woman's name that comes up? I can't remember what her name was, but the main kind of human character in Make Believe Land, and she sings a duet with him about how like, I like you the way that you are, but instead of the tiger going like, oh, thank you for making me feel better and everything else, and it's all fine, he makes it a duet that the insecurity is always there, but then like if you tie it with the kind of the uplifting thing that your people around you give you or whatever, but it just is showing the reality of like, it's okay to sometimes feel that way.
It's not like shaming you for feeling that way.
Right.
Like, you shouldn't feel like that.
Right. And like,
You're
okay,
dumb.
if somebody tells you to soothe your ego, then you should just be like, you should get over it. Like, it's always might be there for a little bit, but like, that's okay. That's totally normal. But like, if you kind of encompass that with some good compliments and good people around you, and that's normal, and that's a good place to be.
Watch Mr. Rogers again.
I know.
Jesus Christ.
It really was like impactful. It's just like how, so like they would watch this, like all the producers and stuff would watch. They're like, oh, okay, the tiger's gonna do this, and then Mr. Rogers would just do a duet with her, and just again kind of. Just that's what reality is, and that's okay, and it made kids just go, okay, it's normal to feel that, that's okay. So anyway, where was I?
Didn't teach you to shove it down and forget about it.
No.
Which is why half of our fucking nation is fucked up.
It's true.
Which most of us are fucked up because we're like, oh yeah, we're not supposed to fucking show our shit.
Never
show it. Show us your titties.
Show us your titties. So he did not say that. Even though maybe that's probably what he was thinking. So
he said it to his wife.
Just show me the one tit. Only when they were making kids. Just kidding.
Only the one time.
Twice they had 2 boys. Okay, so they so the other reason why he came back too was because he was like seeing these horrific stories about how kids were jumping off of like balconies or whatever because they were just thinking they were Superman, or they were like, again, he hated television. He hated it because it would teach kids
nothing.
It would teach kids nothing, essentially, and it would teach them like it wouldn't tell them what the point is between make believe and what's reality. Mm-hmm. And so these kids were getting hurt. So he's like, okay, my job isn't done. I have to teach them about this, and this, and I have to teach them about make believe, and I have to teach them about and he would get so mad, like, just why is nobody taking responsibility? Like, it is your job as an adult to protect these kids, and you're not doing your job. So he's like, well, you know whose job it is? It's my job.
It's Mr. Rogers' job.
Right, it is. And so he's like, so he said it like in the freaking documentary. He's like, you know what? But you know what? I will tell you what's best for them. He said that. And then he went back to work.
That's a bad boss.
Yeah, I was like, damn, Mr. Rogers, you a boss fucking bitch. Okay. That's cool. I see you. So, so he continued that run until about 2001. And then unfortunately he died in 2003 of stomach cancer.
Wow, wow.
So he went up to like the very end.
Wow.
And then he passed away in his home. Well, I don't know if it was actually his home, but he essentially hated doctors, so they caught it early late, and then he was terminal.
Great, are you trying to tell me something?
Yeah, go to the doctor, Brianna. Yeah. So,
oh my goodness.
And then I have a pretty good chunk of.
He's fine now. He's my Reverend Angel friend.
It's true. Of fun facts.
Sup, Mr. R.
Mr. R. So fun fact. So whenever Mr. Rogers began to feel anxious or overwhelmed, he would play the Mr. Rogers Neighborhood theme song. On his piano.
I've been doing that lately.
So he would do that to calm his nerves.
It's a beautiful I've done it a couple times when I get into my car and I'm going to work really early in the morning.
Like, you'll put on Mr. Rogers Neighborhood?
Yeah.
Nice. That's amazing.
It's a really great way to start my day.
No, I was sitting there as I was like going like, yeah, thank you, Mr. Rogers. And then he would sing the song, and I would be, and I wouldn't catch myself until like the third verse, and I was like, oh my god, I'm singing along with him. Thank God my room is in here. But like, it's true. Like, it's cathartic. I don't know what it is, but it is. Hashtag 30ish. But like, seriously, it's crazy. So,
I always wanted a neighbor who looked just like you. Or something. Not who looks, or I don't know.
Who is or looks or something like that. Yeah.
Anyway, I don't listen to it a lot.
Well, it's enough, though.
It shows.
It shows. It's fine. So apparently he used to weigh himself every morning, not for like any vanity reasons. Roger's regular weight of 143 pounds had a special meaning to him.
Well,
it takes 1 letter to say I, and 4 letters to say love, and 3 letters to say you.
1, 4, 3, I love you. 1, 4, 3.
Yeah, Justin Bieber, take that up. All right.
That's a Ray J song, actually.
Is it really?
Yeah, bitch. You don't know that song?
I don't fucking know that song.
I bought at the barn and pop love in the club. 1, 4, 3, I love you.
Fucking love you.
You don't know that fucking song?
No, I don't know that song.
Well, he must have fucking watched Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and knew the weight of Mr. Rogers, and he wrote that song. You're welcome.
Thank you for that. That was amazing. So the closest swear word he would ever get to was
fuck.
Mercy. like Uncle Jesse.
Mercy,
like Uncle Jesse from Full House.
He said fuck.
No, he said mercy when he found out. Like,
Aunt
Becky went to jail.
Stop saying fuck.
No, I'm sure we said like mercy. So in the
mercy?
It was funny because in the movie with Tom Hanks, he said mercy quite a bit.
Did he?
Like, he would get like the guy who'd get all upset with. He's like, "Oh, mercy." And I was like, "Okay,
that
like,
is really cute."
Yeah.
Precious.
He loved silence.
It is golden.
It is golden.
I hear.
Yeah. One time he had the audience watch an egg timer for a full minute. He would go like, "Do you want to know how long a minute is?" And like, let's watch. And so he turned it on, and then he just like, we just watched it for a full minute.
That's fucking dope.
And he explained it like it's what children do to adults. They just kind of watch and wait. So that's like they just kind of sit back and they watch. So that's how he approached everything. So he would just like, he's like, and he always thought like silence was the most precious gift that you can give to anybody, because you could see what people do in that silence. And kids,
wow.
they're not uncomfortable in that silence. Adults are uncomfortable in that silence, but kids are not uncomfortable. They can just sit there and they'll just stare at you and just like watch what you're doing. They could care less. And Mr. Rogers did that. So as an adult, like,
tap into that more.
We look at them and we go, well, maybe not during the podcast, but like we look.
All right, guys, we're gonna set a egg timer for 7 minutes.
7 whole minutes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine.
I do.
You're fine. So Mr. Rogers was also a vegetarian. He didn't smoke or drink or seem to have any major vices. Except for those 2 times, he obviously had sex.
Oh, shitty nasty.
He also stayed married to the same woman.
What if they had sex like rabbits?
He could have. Like, what if that's how he got, he just needed to get that stress off, though. So he stayed married to the same woman until his death. And their marriage lasted 47 years. About the only even slightly quote-unquote scandalous thing that he did is when he revealed in an interview that he swam laps completely in the buff nearly every morning of his adult life at various clubs that allowed nude swimming at certain times of day.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, get it, Mr. Rogers.
Get that pure ass shit in there.
I like to feel the waves beneath my balls.
Yes, he does.
He does.
And bringing it back to testicles.
100%. 100%. Okay, so the puppets came into play in the children's corner because they used to get quote unquote free film, and it was like, I guess the shit's brittle as fuck, and it would break on air, and they had to come up with something like quickly. So Rogers shoved a tiger puppet that would become Daniel the tiger, he burst it through the set on the wall through a clock and said, "It's 5:02, and Columbus discovered America in 1492. It's a little ad lib.
Oh.
And thus the puppets became a regular thing. So,
that's funny.
It was funny. In the opening,
except for the Columbus part.
Well, he stole it. Let's be real. But in Mr. Rogers' land, he discovered it. But that's, I get it. I get it.
He didn't know the truth.
He don't know the truth. So it's okay. It's okay. In the opening sequence of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, the spotlight is always on yellow as a reminder to kids and their parents to slow down a little.
Oh my God.
Right? Isn't that amazing? Let's see. Mr. Rogers always mentioned out loud that he was feeding the fish because a young blind viewer once asked him to do so. She wanted to know that the fish was okay.
Yeah.
She thought it was dead.
Do you ever feed your fish?
Do you feed his fish?
That is so cute.
Isn't that wholesome as fuck? So, a Yale study pitted fans of Sesame Street against Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood watchers and found that kids who watched Mr. Rogers tended to remember more of the storylines and had a much higher tolerance of delay, meaning they had more patience. Probably because he made them watch egg timers. Yeah. So, that's neither here nor there. So, whatever.
They weren't like, cookie!
So, Mr. Rogers' mother knitted every single one of his sweaters until she had died.
Fucking Lord.
So you can't find those. Those are one of a kind, guys.
Dude, do they sell those?
I mean, they probably do on Etsy, but one of them did end up in the Smithsonian. So that's pretty dope. Oh, yeah.
I think I saw it.
I'm sure you did.
When I was on the National Mall.
You probably did. Probably. It's like kind of seeing like, did you go by and see the ruby slippers from?
No, but there was there was like a pop culture museum, wasn't there? I didn't go to that one. Mm-hmm. I only went to like.
And wasn't it one like it was like Mr. Rogers, like what? No, not Mr. Rogers, but weren't the original slippers silver because it was black and white? No, it wasn't. It was always colored. Anyway, never mind. I think in the beginning. I think in the book they were silver, but like to make them more like whatever, it was red.
Flashy.
Ruby. Yeah.
And they were ruby slippers.
Yeah. Rogers also managed to convince the Supreme Court that using VCRs to record TV shows at home shouldn't be considered a form of copyright infringement. Rogers argued that recording a program like his allowed working parents to sit down with their children and watch shows as a family. Again, he was convincing and fucking got that shit. He was just all about the family unit. He was amazing, right?
Yes.
Not the only battle in the so that was the second Supreme Court battle he won. The third, no, I don't know if this was actually in the Supreme Court. It probably wasn't, but it was a third court battle. Fred Rogers and his family communications company sued. Let's see, they sued to stop the Ku Klux Klan to use like a recording of theirs. The message is like I guess the Ku Klux Klan message is like, I guess, sound effects and the song of Mr. Rogers' television show and Mr. Rogers' kind of voice and speech patterns, and he won that. So they were using it to essentially, like, I guess they were imitating him to like make good little bigots.
Yeah.
So he was arguing that was copyright infringement, but obviously he didn't care about, like, I mean, VCR, like, recording them was one thing. He was obviously doing it for another reason because he hated to fucking hate. So he won that battle against the fucking KKK. So he even fought against the KKK and goddamn won.
Hell yes.
God damn, Mr. Rogers. I didn't know that about him. That was like the biggest fact that I learned, is that he
That's your favorite fun fact?
Yeah, that was my favorite one fun fact, that he fucking went on. And apparently, like, this was awful shit. Like, so apparently in these horrible movies and recordings, they were saying in his like influx and in his just mannerisms, they were saying things like, "Oh yeah, look at that." I'm not going to say it, but they would say blankety blank child. And then at the end of that recording or the end of the video, they would show them lynching this child. Yeah.
Wow.
And they were using this kind of material to just influence children of their own to be little fucking assholes. So fucking Mr. Rogers was like, I will have none of that. And
not
sued them and won.
Good.
So good on him. Pieces of shit.
Oh my god,
right?
That gives me the heebie-jeebies.
I know. So yeah, so I think I already said this, but all the puppets in the land of make-believe were based on people in his life. Oh, I did say that. Daniel the tiger was believed to represent Mr. Rogers himself. Very cute and just like innocent and everything else. And lastly, his last words, he asked his wife if he was a sheep. And referring to the last judgment in the Bible, when Jesus separates the good sheep from the bad goats. So if he was really worried that he wasn't a good enough sheep to go to heaven. You
are the best sheep.
So, yeah. I mean, if Mr. Rogers isn't a sheep, then I don't know what the fuck are we doing here. We're all fucked. Yeah. So, anyway, that's all I got for you. Oh, fuck. We've been talking for 50 minutes. Shit. This is going to be a long one, you guys. Sorry.
Well, hope you liked it. Should we get to rolling?
Yes.
But first,
you give your spiel, girl.
Thank you all for being here. If this is your first time, welcome. We hope you enjoyed the wild and crazy ride.
The wild ride.
If you don't already, definitely follow us on Instagram, THURDYISH. If you feel inclined, leave us a rate and review on iTunes. If you listen on iTunes, it always helps us get out to more people.
Do it.
Also, keep sending us your DMs and your memes and commenting on the stuff that we post. We think we're pretty funny, so we're glad that you guys do too. So
yes, we really do.
So thanks guys. And we love you. Thank you. Love you. Let's roll the motherfucking dice, bitch.
All right, here we go. 4.
4. History?
Wait, what is that? What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. History, you're right.
Yes. I think I've memorized them now.
I think you got it. No.
3.
That is...
Paranormal?
Cooking.
Food.
Are you so excited?
You need to change that to food.
I
you
will
haven't changed it since the very beginning.
Jesus Christ, you need to stop yelling at me.
And then science. Did you change that yet?
I don't think I have.
All right, food. Let's see what I'm going to do.
I have not changed science.
Speaking of food, be sure to follow Brie and Carmel if you live in the Fort Collins area, because we're going to be posting menus.
Get after that plug
every week for delivery meals. So
if you haven't looked at it yet, like it looks really good. So I mean, today was the last day for orders, but
yes,
for this week's. So.
Well, actually, if you're listening on a Sunday,
that was true.
You got till Wednesday to order. So
get after it.
Check it out, motherfuckers.
Get after it.
All right. Well, that was fun.
It was a lot of
And
fun.
we'll see y'all next week on 30ish.